Good evening. Welcome to tonight's On the Edge with me, Theo Chalmers, on what is now sadly but temporarily our only late night strand here on Thursdays on controversial television. Tonight's show is 1 hour long and live, so if you have any questions for my guests during the show, text them to 87778 with the word EDGE, a space, and then your name, location and your message, and we'll try to pick up on any that really hit the mark. They're all charged at standard rate, so why not get ready to text? Tonight's show features two people who form part of a self-professed undercover anti-terror squad, a modern street movement which uses filmed public events featuring love, irony, music, humour and hugging the police, yes really, to convey a very serious commentary about modern British society. In a non-threatening, inclusive and warm-spirited way, they shine a light on what they claim are our losses of freedom and liberty, and on unlawful wars, political contradictions and injustice. Their films have garnered popular acclaim on their channel on YouTube, and tonight I am enormously pleased to welcome one half of Everything Is OK, Charlie Veitch, and the man who plays his humorous, self-penned ironic songs to underscore the very serious messages, Olly the Octopus. What a show we've got tonight. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having us on.
Pleasure. So you're Charlie.
I am indeed.
And you're Olly.
Certainly.
You look like you're 4 limbs short.
Yeah, well, I like to hide them. You know, it's good to keep these things secret.
Okay.
Then you can operate amongst people.
Fair enough, then. Okay, at least you're not a lizard.
The viewers, might say differently. He's quite scaly in places.
It's quite scaly in places.
You said you wouldn't mention that.
Okay, I'm sorry. Charlie, how did you get involved in doing this kind of street stuff?
Well, as we were discussing before the show, Olly and I, we've known each other for 16 years, and we've always had a bit of a rebellious streak at school. We found school very exciting. We loved putting on a uniform and obeying teachers. So we were very conformist at school, weren't we?
I was a good boy.
He was a very, very, very good boy. So about a year ago, I bought a new camera, and I was like, you're a musician, you make funny songs, why don't we go and do a show inside the Church of Scientology? So we agreed to go in for their personality test, which obviously tells you you're very depressed and you need to join their cult and give them lots of money. So we went in, and he just pulled his guitar out, and I started filming. But the good thing about working with Olly, being an octopus, he has very large tentacles, which gives him the bravery to perform alongside me, really.
Fantastic. Now, as Everything Is OK, you normally work with Danny Shine, don't
Yes.
you? Who sadly couldn't be here tonight.
Yes.
But you only met him and started this Everything Is OK thing with him a few months ago, didn't you?
Yeah, I think in my nightmares I'd walked around London, and there's a man in the corner of my mind holding a sign saying everything is okay. So then when I finally saw him on May the 1st at the Bank of England Space Hijackers thing, I did a fake news interview because I just bought my camera that very same day. So I did a fake news interview with Danny. And whilst we were filming, he was holding the sign, everything is okay. There's a group of forward intelligence team police taking photographs of us. So halfway through the interview, I'd pull the megaphone out and then shout at the police and ask them to stop truncheoning people, ask them to stop spreading terror. And Everything Is Okay was born. So Everything Is Okay is Danny's phrase, which we've adopted for the channel, and also the megaphone was my thing, which is actually Olly's megaphone. So it kind of all was his megaphone. It belongs to the Metropolitan Police now, but it all kind of ties in now.
What, did you sell it to the Metropolitan Police?
No, he borrowed it, and he never gave it back.
Yeah, what happened was...
Olly, about your megaphone...
the police have it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was filming...
Well, can't you claim it back?
We're trying. We're in the negotiations now.
I think they're secret fans of ours, and I think they've taken it so that they can give it to their kid or something, you know.
Yes. Well, I think we should have a little clip. Let's watch clip 1, shall we, of you in action.
Today is Love a Terrorist Day. Come and hand in your weapons of war, and you will be let free. This is a message for Al-Qaeda operative Bravo 8 Alpha. We have a backpack that you have left behind, and you need to reclaim it before you make your way to Canary Wharf. Code word Bravo 2 Alpha, please come and reclaim your backpack. Your backpack is standing by for your tube journey towards Canary Wharf.
So that was you talking about Al Qaeda
Yes.
and protecting the people of Oxford Street from the possibility of...
What actually happened that day, Theo, we were working with Abdullah al-Khalid, or Al-Qaeda operative, Bravo 2 Alpha, and we lost him in the crowd because he was distracted by Top Man, and he wanted to get some Topshop shopping for his girlfriend. And so we had his backpack, but we didn't have...
that would be Top Girl or something, wouldn't it?
Topshop?
Or even
Top Shop, yeah,
Shop,
top Girl. And so we lost him in the crowd, and we needed him for the tube ride towards Canary Wharf. But one of the things we think we lost him is because we didn't know who he was really working for, and that was the problem. We thought he was Al-Qaeda, but I suspect he may have been working for a different organisation.
Was he a mole?
You'd think he was a deep undercover shill, mole, patsy.
So how do people respond to this kind of...
With extreme
initiative?
hatred and violence, really, usually. No, with lots of love, and we get hundreds of messages a week. Oh, do you mean out on the street?
Yes.
I'd say about 99% of people get what we're doing. Not initially, but there's always the 1% of the people who come up to us and scream at us and say that we should support our troops in Iraq and Afghanistan, that we're actually helping the terrorists by speaking out against the war. We should support our heroes in Afghanistan for the wonderful work they do. So we do get a lot of messages, and I've had my first death threat on the internet, which must mean I'm making a difference now. So
You've had a death threat?
I've arrived, yeah. So
An internet death threat?
yeah, but he deleted his account afterwards, so I couldn't follow it up because, you know.
Well, I'm very sorry to hear that somebody would see fit to do that. But, I mean, being ironic means you can almost say anything you like, doesn't it? Because you can say, well, I'm saying that in a sense of irony, and I don't actually mean it.
Exactly.
So when people ask you for a position statement, what do you say?
Think for yourselves. The goal is not to give people a position statement. The goal is to give people lots to think about, and so they can make up their own minds and arrive at the sensible conclusion.
But OK, well, let's just assume then that there's an ordinary person in the street walking down Oxford Street or Canary Wharf or outside the American Embassy or any of those other places, Camden Lock.
Yeah.
And they see you saying, you know, some fairly funny but serious stuff in an ironic way. What are they to make of you? What do you think that they take away from it? What do you...
Well, what I've observed is that they find it very funny because it's stuff that's gone on and it's been bubbling under the sort of collective consciousness for a while in news and media, and the stuff that Charlie and Danny shout out on their megaphones is pertinent, and people sort of go, yes, that's kind of true, but because it's in an ironic way, they're much more receptive to it, and it becomes, you know.
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of what you do is kind of like reinforcing the messages that we get from the powers that be anyway, isn't it? So, like, everything is okay and there's nothing to look at, everything's fine, just obey orders and...
Look up to the nearest CCTV camera so your face can be recorded.
Yeah, absolutely. What the idea was, first of all, the label "everything is okay" works on two different levels, and this is where Danny and I probably view it from a different way. Danny's view of everything is okay, if he doesn't mind me saying this, is what I think his view is that everything is okay because we're part of the oneness totality and everything's playing out as it's supposed to do, and we're co-creating our reality as we go along.
That's like the desiderata, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you believe that your life is dictated by how you view your own life, then everything is okay. And if you believe everything is okay, then you will carry on. Myself, sometimes I see it as another ironic mainstream media message to just keep people asleep, that everything is okay. Here, watch this, watch Britney Spears, and carry on.
OK, let's have another clip then, shall we? This is quite fun. This is the clip number 2 then, please.
Excuse me, sir. Why have you got a notebook out and intimidating a young man?
I'm not intimidating a young man. I just putting down someone intimidating a young man, sir.
You are a private employee. You do not need a notebook to take anyone's details. I'll tell you the identification here. I am me, you are you, he is him. Me dropping my trousers is indecency, he says. Did anyone see my genitals? They're very beautiful.